Are you putting in work in the gym and not seeing any results and muscle gains that you expected? Well, you're not alone. And today we're diving into common reasons why your muscles might not be growing as fast as you expected and how you can overcome plateaus with advanced training techniques and better training. So, let's unlock the secrets to maximizing muscle growth and achieving your fitness goals. So, first, let's explore the factors that might be hindering muscle growth. So, reflecting on my own fitness journey, I've had periods of a few months where my muscles seem to have stopped growing. And I thought, oh, maybe the newbie gains are over. But little did I know they were far from over, and I was simply making a few mistakes. So, through experimentation uh, with some advanced training techniques and some better fitness tips, I've learned how I can overcome plateaus and continue making progress towards my fitness goals. And today, I will share that knowledge and that blessing to you. So, here are some common reasons for stagnant muscle growth. The first one is a pretty obvious, and it's a lack of progressive overload. So, it's very important to progressively increase your training intensity and volume sometimes over time to challenge your muscles and stimulate growth. When you do this, your body isn't used to training this hard, so it's gonna adapt by building more muscle. Whereas if you stay at one level where your body is comfortable at and you don't increase the intensity actively, your body is gonna think, oh, we're fine here. There's no need for him to build more muscle. And obviously, this isn't like a conscious thought, but this is like our evolutionary sensitivity adaptations. And here are some tips for actual progressive overload strategies. So you can increase weights, you can do more reps with the same weight, you can add some extra sets, or you can have some advanced training techniques, which we're going to talk about later in the video. Now, the second reason for plateaus in muscle growth is inadequate recovery, and this is a pretty common one. You might think of skipping this, but stick around, because this might actually apply to you more than you think. It's very important to have proper rest and recovery for maximum muscle growth, and some of that importance comes from sufficient sleep, good nutrition, and maybe recovery techniques like cold exposure or saunas. So, some insights for optimizing recovery. I have strategies like you can have foam rolling, stretching, and having even active recovery days in your training routines. What this means is that you're not going to the gym, but you're having like stretching or cardio, or some day where you're not doing completely nothing. Because a few people have one rest day a week, which again is, I think, too little, because training 6 days a week can be too much. I think a better approach would be to have five training days a week and then 2 active rest days, active recovery days, where you're actually trying to recover from the training rather than just resting. Because rest and recovery, while they are very similar, recovery is just more advanced and it helps you more. And third reason for stagnation in training is that your training is monotonous. So there's potential for stagnation if your training is repetitive and you have a lack of variety in exercises. When you do this, it can often be consistent, right? Because you can progress consistently, but then at some point your body just gets used to the exercises. When your body gets used to the exercises and you're not shocking the muscle in the same way, your body doesn't feel the need to adapt to this new stimulus, and therefore it won't feel the need to build as much muscle than as if you were incorporating new exercises or new training techniques every week. Whereas if you do that, your body feels this need like, oh, I have to adapt to this new training stimulus. Let me build some more muscle in that specific area, right? And here are some benefits of incorporating like advanced training techniques is shocking the muscles, stimulating new growth, and you can break through plateaus and avoid your body adapting fully to the training. So, here are some advanced training techniques to stimulate muscle growth. The first one being drop sets. So, drop sets are performing a set to usually to failure, meaning until you can't complete another rep with some weight, and then reducing the weight so you can do more reps. So what this means is if you were usually going to failure on all of your sets, this means you're going beyond failure and stimulating extra muscle growth. And this is just so much harder than a regular set. If you've never tried it, if you've never experimented with it, you will be shocked. And if you have, then you'll know just how much harder it is. And you need to select appropriate weights and exercises for these. I usually do these like for some exercises on the very last set. So I do 3 sets normally, and then I do my 4th set as a drop set. Now the next one is supersets, which are slightly different. It involves performing 2 exercises back to back with no rest, targeting either the same muscle group twice or different muscle groups. And some examples of effective supersets that I'm gonna actually give to you. There's leg extensions into leg presses. That's gonna annihilate your quads. You have the tricep pushdowns into bicep curls, which is a great one for training your arms simultaneously, like your whole arm. Then there's bench press and lat pull down, which can train the opposites, chest and back. There's lat pull down and row, which is very, very good for your back. And you get the gist. There's just so many different methods for this. Now, the next advanced training technique is pyramid training. So, pyramid training is a method used by pretty much all bodybuilders where you increase or decrease the weight and repetitions with each set, and you stimulate muscle growth while allowing variation in intensity. So when you have a pyramid training workout, you should adjust parameters based on individual goals and fitness levels, but to not leave you completely clueless, I'm going to give you my example. So let's say that I start out with flat bench, right? So my first set, I do kind of like a lightweight 40 kilos for 15 reps. Then my next set, I'll go up to 50 kilos and I'll hit I'll go up to 45 kilos first and I'll hit probably 10 to 12 reps. And then I'll go up to 50 kilograms, I'll hit 10 reps. Then I'll go up to 55 kilograms, I'll hit 8 reps. And then that's it. Or let's say for lat pull downs, I'll hit 36 kilos for 15, then 41 for 15, 45 kilos for 12, and then for my top set, I'll hit 50 kilos for 8 or something like that. Here are some bonus tips I have for maximizing muscle growth. The first one is focus on form. This applies to every woman, and even I need to improve my form. And it can seem like something that's boring or monotonous to focus on, but it's very important and is very underrated. And that's why every trainer pushes it to all their clients. I was really annoyed at my trainer for making me do perfect form until I adapted to that form and realized just how much better it was. So there are some cues for maintaining proper form during exercise, such as bracing your core and your abs, keeping a backward spine like this, having a straight back, and control the movement throughout the concentric and the eccentric. So focusing on form will ensure that you build more muscle because you're stimulating the muscle properly, and you avoid injury because you don't do the movement improperly. It's very important. The next thing is nutrition optimization. It's very significant to have good nutrition to support your muscle growth and recovery. So there's so the best way to do this is to consume an adequate amount of protein, carbs, and healthy fats. So here are my tips for optimizing pre and post workout nutrition. So before your workout, you should probably consume a little bit of protein and maybe some high glycemic, fast digesting carbs, which can give you that instant energy. And the protein you can consume a bit in advance so that you just have energy overall to spend, but you don't have like this lethargy that would come from eating too many carbs. And afterwards, you want to have a meal that's high in fat and protein. You don't really want to have high carb after a workout because you want to rest and recover. So it's not really beneficial to have those carbs. Now, the next thing is periodization. And this just means structuring your training programs to have great muscle growth while not burning out. So here are some tips for implementing periodization. So you can vary training intensity, volume, and even frequency over phases to promote continued progress. So every 1 or 2 or 3 months, I will change up my training completely, where I'll have a different amount of days, I'll have a different workout, I have different workouts, and I'll choose like which days I train on. And this shocks my muscle every time, and I can make better progress. And now for the actionable step in this video. You're gonna incorporate one or more of the advanced training techniques in your next workout, and you'll focus on proper form and proper progression to stimulate new muscle growth and overcome plateaus. And you can experiment until you find something that you like doing that is also beneficial for you. And to summarize, the common reasons for stagnant muscle growth are lacks of progressive overload, inadequate recovery, and monotonous training. Some advanced training techniques you can use to stimulate growth are drop sets, supersets, and pyramid training. Some tips for maximizing muscle growth is to focus on form, to optimize nutrition, and to have periodization. And that's it for today. Follow my Patreon, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and embrace progress, not perfection. See ya.